Number 1. Leaving the ball for your teammates in a better position. When one of your teammates is in a better position than you and happens to be in the path of the ball, sometimes it is wise to just let the ball run through your feet so that your teammate can receive it. There can be multiple such scenarios. Number 1. A defender is close to you, ready to block your shot, while an unmarked teammate is behind you. Or number 2. Your angle to goal is really tight for a shot, while your teammate's angle is much better, so he has a better chance of scoring. Here's a good example of this concept. In the match against Spurs, Jordi Alba makes a pass into the penalty box. Note how both Coutinho and Suarez show the presence of mind to let the ball run through for Messi, who is arriving late. The Argentine then gets a free shot at goal that puts Barcelona ahead. Later in the same match, Suarez leaves the ball for an unmarked Messi. The outcome is again the same. Even though it is the duo of Suarez and Messi doing this, it is not telepathy. They must have practiced it hundreds of times in the training to pull it off so cleanly in a match. Note that communication is key for such a move. In a real game, maybe the player number 2 here can make a call for number 1 to let the ball run through for him, or vice versa. Here's another example. It's a counter for PSG and Neymar is keeping the opposition defender occupied with his run. This allows Mbappe to get acres of space to run into. Cavani realizes this and passes the ball to Mbappe. Neymar is aware of Kylian's run and smartly leaves the ball for him. The Frenchman then tries a Rabona shot, which unfortunately doesn't end up in the back of the net. Although this move is best used in attack, you can even use it in the midfield if you are feeling confident. See how Messi does it here. The rule of thumb for this is to be aware of the players around you, and if someone is in a better position than you, let the ball run through to him. Another variant of this move is the trap feint. In this move, you again let the ball run through, but this time, the intention is to capitalize on it yourself. Timo Werner did this to score his debut goal for Chelsea in the Premier League against Southampton. It's honestly a brilliant way to bamboozle a defender. Suarez, Vinicius Jr. and Dembele do it quite often as well. Back in the 1970 World Cup, Pele took it a step further and did it against the goalkeeper. Unfortunately, he missed the shot that followed. To pull off this move, you must keep checking your shoulder to know exactly where the defender is. If he is being aggressive and rushing to close you in, let the ball run through your feet. He will be left in the dust while you get the head start. But if the defender has maintained a bit of distance, then you can receive the ball and turn. Up next, tip number 2, winning fouls, especially near the touchline. Now, this one requires a bit of experience and is also situational. When you are forced into a position where you are highly likely to lose the ball, you can turn your back to the opposition, wait for contact, fall onto the ball, and win an easy foul. This would not only ensure that your team maintains possession of the ball, but can also frustrate the opponent. Look how Maguire is under pressure from Havertz. All his short passing options are already surrounded by German players. He makes the smart choice and wins the foul instead of losing the ball in a dangerous position. He didn't try to dribble or make a turn. The possibility of losing the ball in such a position poses a huge risk for his team, and Maguire is well aware of this. Here we can see how Rodrigo de Paul uses the same concept against Neymar, a player who is not only faster than him but also good at pressing. The Brazilian pulls off a nutmeg on de Paul, but the Argentine quickly turns and prevents Neymar from getting the ball. He then waits for Neymar to come close enough and goes to ground to win the foul. Similarly, in extra time of Euro 2020 semi-finals, England were 2-1 up against Denmark, and Kane won multiple fouls near the touchline to secure the win. Same principle, shield the ball, let the defender barge into you, and fall down on the ball so that the referee has no option but to blow the whistle. In the final moments of a game, losing the ball can initiate a counter, putting your whole team under severe pressure. Note that Kane has the confidence and the ability to dribble past players, but he knows that it would be smarter to just run the clock out by winning the foul. If it was his team that was a goal down, the approach would be completely different. Just don't make your intentions too obvious by doing this a lot, or the ref would stop blowing his whistle. Number 3. Knowing when you are offside. There are situations in the game when you end up in an offside position, but it requires a considerable amount of awareness to realize this and not being involved in play. Here's an example. The ball is passed in the direction of Messi, but he's well aware that he is offside. He quickly checks his shoulder to see his teammate and lets the ball run for him. He then scores from a simple tap-in. Another example. Remember how Alexis Sanchez scored in the FA Cup final 2017? In the 4th minute of the game, Sanchez scored the opening goal of the match, but it was initially ruled out as Ramsey was in an offside position when the ball was played. The referee then talked to the linesman and the decision was overturned. Ramsey's gesture here shows that he is aware of his offside position and signals that he is not being involved in play. This was a big reason why the decision went in Arsenal's favour. Here's another example. Do note the gesture of the offside player. Being aware of being offside and clearly communicating that you are not being involved in play makes your case really strong to the referee. When you make the referee's job easier, the likelihood of the decision going in your favour increases a lot. You guys are well aware of the offside rule, but just make sure to be extra careful of these 2 points when in a match. Number 1, you can only be penalized if you are interfering with active play or with an opponent. And number 2, if the ball rebounds off the goalpost, an opponent, the referee, or is deliberately saved by an opponent, you would still be penalized for being offside. Moving on to the next tip on the list. Number 4, tactical fouls. I have already covered this topic before in my How to Become a Smart Centre-Back video, so I will keep it short here. Tactical fouls should be done when taking a yellow card is a better option than letting the opponent initiate a counter-attack. I agree that it's not the cleanest of things to do, but if you are here to win, you have to get your hands dirty sometimes. The most recent and most memed one is when Chiellini pulled Saka's shirt in the Euro finals. Another example is when Fede Valverde tackled Morata when Madrid were winning 1-0 in the Supercopa final. So you should be making tactical fouls when your team is leading and you want to secure the win, or when the game is going to extra time and you want to stop an opposition counter. Basically, in any do or die situation, you should not be afraid to do the dirty work. Always remember that the value of a tactical foul increases exponentially as you go deeper into the match. The value of a tactical foul in the 90th minute is way more than the one in the first half. Moving on, number 5. There are times in a match when the ball falls close to you, perfectly set up for a half volley, but you are too close to the goal, making it really awkward to pull it off. If you try to shoot, the ball may go well above the bar, or even if you keep it on target, the angle is just too tight and the goalkeeper would easily save it. If you try to take control of the ball, you would be closed down quickly. So what should be done in such scenarios? A good way to score from such opportunities is to deliberately shoot the ball into the ground to make it bounce awkwardly in front of the keeper. Since you are so close to the goalkeeper has no time to react when the ball bounces in front of him. The sudden change of trajectory can set him off, and even if his positioning is spot on, the ball just might end up in the back of the net from a shot that had little power. Ozil always used to do this. See how he deliberately shoots the ball into the ground in the general direction of the goal? Here's another goal from Ozil that he scored against Manchester United. The technique does look a bit awkward, but it is really efficient when you are close to the goal. By the way, this is the same match where Louis van Gaal did this. Keep an eye out for this one and you might find strikers like Kane or Suarez also doing this in a match. Tip number 6. Late runs into zone 14. If you have subscribed to this channel, you should know exactly what I'm talking about. Zone 14 is the zone located in the middle of the pitch, immediately outside the penalty area. This region is crucial in producing successful offensive opportunities. A late run into the zone allows one of your teammates to pass the ball back to you so that you can take a free shot at goal. Messi, Kroos, De Bruyne, all great players make sure to use this move at least once in every match. Look at Kevin De Bruyne here. He is already bursting into space so that he is in the perfect position to receive the ball. He shoots from just inside the box and there could be only one outcome. Here is Kroos doing the same thing. A delayed run into zone 14 allows him to be unmarked. He gets a free shot at goal and scores with a classy finish. The logic is simple. When the opposition defense is occupied by your attackers, you make a late run towards the penalty box while simultaneously asking for the ball. The opposition defenders won't be able to rush out to block your shot, and if you time your run well, their midfielders would also get little time to react. If you are a midfielder and don't make such aggressive runs while demanding the ball from your teammates, you are doing something wrong here, my friend. Unless your coach explicitly tells you to be conservative and stay back, there is no reason for you to let a potential scoring opportunity go to waste like that. Up next, number 7, time wasting. Love it or hate it, time wasting has become an important part of modern football. It is important for not only running out the clock, but also for disrupting the opponent's rhythm. If you want to know how to close down a game if you are winning, Look no further than Italy.
It's the history of the
Italy.
In the Euros 2020 quarterfinals, Italy wasted a total of 12 minutes out of the last 21 against Belgium. That means the Belgian players got to play only 9 minutes of normal football in the final quarter of the game. Faking injuries, deliberate fouls, or drinking a little bit of water before throw-ins, the Italians do it all. Time wasting is not a new development, however. Back when the back pass rule wasn't a part of association football, players could just pass the ball to the goalie, who would then pick it up and waste 10 to 20 seconds just like that. Denmark even backpassed their way to Euro 1992 glory. Kasper Schmeichel's dad, Peter Schmeichel, was the man between the sticks back then. Moving on to tip number 8, effective communication. The ability to effectively communicate with your teammates is the single most important thing in the game in my opinion. Asking for the ball, pointing towards a free teammate, signaling which corner tactic you are going to follow, or just simply disagreeing with the ref. All such things can only be done with clear communication. Here is an example that perfectly combines one of the previous tips and this one. As I told you earlier, you should not get involved in play when you are offside. In this image, you can see that Nacer Charlie is in an offside position when the ball is played to him. However, he is not aware of this. Kane immediately signals him to not get involved in the play, and then the Englishman himself takes the ball and scores the goal. Here are a few pointers for effective communication. If you are a goalkeeper, be sure to tell your defenders when you are going to claim the ball. Similarly, you should tell them when they should pass the ball back to you, or how you want the ball to be set up in dead ball situations. If you are playing the sweeper role, make sure to shout and make your intentions clear when coming out to clear the ball. There is a lot of yelling involved as a keeper, and there is honestly no running away from it. As a defender, you must be assertive when going for the ball. For example, if the ball falls between you and one of your teammates, you must claim it before clearing it to avoid confusion. Similarly, yell out loud when going for headers. One of the centre backs should be maintaining the defensive line as well. Other defenders would look at him and position accordingly. Simple phrases like move up or move down can make a big difference in controlling the defensive line. If you are a midfielder, you need to control the rhythm and tempo of the game. Telling your teammates where to pass and dictating the next move is important for midfielders. Similarly, ask for the ball when you are unmarked and have space to turn. Whether you intend to keep possession or be more on the front foot, it is always good to be on the same page as your teammates. As far as forwards are concerned, always ask for the ball while making good runs behind the opposition defense. When the ball is on the wing, you can raise your hand to signal whether you want the ball at the near post or the far post. If your team likes to press, it is typically the centre forward who initiates the press. Moving on to tip number 9, switching the play. Switching the play is incredibly important at the top level. Players like Toni Kroos and Pirlo are well renowned for their distribution. Not only midfielders, defenders and goalkeepers also need to be accurate with their long passing. Sergio Ramos and Van Dijk are great examples of such defenders. And for goalkeepers, look no further than Ederson and Neuer. Switching the play not only requires accurate technique but also great timing. Knowing when to switch the ball is key. To do this, you must be constantly scanning the pitch. If one side of the pitch becomes congested due to an opposition press and space opens up on the other side, a good long ball to the other wing would not only release pressure for your team but can also create an easy offensive opportunity. At the higher levels, you would often notice that the back four of the defending team moves slightly to the ball side of the pitch. This is done to reduce the gaps in the half spaces for attacking players to exploit. A good midfielder would definitely try to switch the play once he notices the vacant space on the other side. If your team has fullbacks who like to overlap, you can wait for their runs and then play the long pass to them. Toni Kroos does this a lot with Carvajal, for example. The fullbacks can then put a cross in or pass the ball to the next player to maintain possession. At the lower levels, as long as you have someone to consistently receive your passes, you will be fine. Just keep working on your long ball technique.